Go. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's buttery smooth.
Welcome to Synthetic Oil Protection. I'm your host, Eben, your oil and lube specialist. We're here with a very special gentleman here. This is our good man, Vinny. We're working on the Ford Focus, third generation, 2012.
There we go.
So, Vinny, how's this thing running?
Like shit.
And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and tap subscribe and get this little notification bell. They'll give you a buzz on your phone.
I'm being honest. I bought this from CarMax with about 85,000 miles. It's currently got right at 145,000 miles on it. And the transmission fluid has never been changed, as far as I know, at least since I've had it. I've never done it. So anyway, Eben was kind enough to help me figure out the proper oil for it, transmission fluid, I should say. We're gonna get it changed today. There's a lot of vibration in the steering wheel, especially upon acceleration, especially when the car is warmer. I don't know if this is the culprit. Maybe it is. We'll find out. Either way, it needs to be done, so we're gonna do it. 145,000-ish.
Little Allen key, he's got it on his tool.
8mm Allen
That's
in.
it, 8mm Allen key.
Car's jacked up,
Car's
supported,
jacked
all
up.
that good stuff.
He's being all, you got your jack stand? Cool.
Yep.
Cool. He's being all safe.
All safe, something like
And
that.
all he does is just crack her loose.
You know, we try to be safe here. This might, she's, there we
she
go.
is. A good warm fluid will come out a little quicker, but it's not cold out, so we're good. See what she looks like. Got a lot of guts going without rubbers.
Yep.
I commend you.
Story of my
It's
life.
completely raw.
That's how we do.
That's a commitment. So there's our 1.7 quarts about coming out. That looks right. And now we're going to clean up that magnet on the bottom of that.
So this is, this calls for 1.9 quarts.
All right,
I
perfect.
believe it is.
1.9, sounds good.
I don't see any metal.
Make sure there's no cracks on our O-ring there. Everything looks good. We can reinstall. What I would do if I own this car, I would change it with the AMSOIL DCT fluid. This right here meets and exceeds all the specifications for this. You can show that to them in the back. And here's all the specs, and this won't void your warranty. This right here, as long as it's on the specification. How this is different, it's 100% synthetic. So you might see the words full synthetic, but that's actually not full synthetic. It's a very misleading term to just sell a very cheap oil to make a ton of money by selling you basically mineral oil mixed with synthetic. So they can call a full synthetic when it's only 25% synthetic or more. You buy a thing that says full synthetic, it can actually be 75% mineral oil. And that mineral oil burns and it's very volatile. If you think of boiling a soup in your house, if you walk away, the water boils off, but you're left with a thick stock. Well, that's the same thing with your transmission fluid, your motor oil, all your other lubricants in your vehicle. You can get it at syntheticoilprotection.net right here. But in the meantime, we're gonna cork her back up and...
Question for you.
Yeah.
If I wasn't using AMSOIL,
Yes.
how often would I need to change my transmission fluid?
I would change the transmission fluid on this with OEM fluid at 18,000 city miles. If I was running this, I would go closer to 30,000 city miles or 60,000 highway driving, or 3 years, whichever comes first, because over time there's moisture and there's a breather on every transmission. There's a breather valve and that allows moisture to go in there. And the moisture has water, and water has calcium and all the minerals. And those can actually rust your transmission. It can, and the rust flakes off and goes into the lubricant, and it exponentially wears out your transmission. So I would do it 3 years or 30,000 miles of city driving.
Using AMSOIL,
Yep.
it basically gets us about double
Just about.
the mileage.
And if you want to really push it, you can. You can always do what's called oil analysis. You can do that with motor oil, transmission fluid, gear lube. And all the big fleets do that because they save tons of money. But they're not going to change it early if they don't need to. If you had a fleet of these the Ford Focus, you wouldn't change this every 18,000 miles and not test it, because that's a lot of money wasted. So you say, okay, I'm going to test it at 30. It's good. I come back and test it at 60. It's good. Wow. This ended up lasting 90,000. Sure. Is that possible? That could last 90,000 in this car, but you wouldn't push it to 90 and not check it and just assume it's okay. Important thing is to never assume, always do your due diligence, and you take care of it.
You know what?
Takes care of you.
You know, you know what they say about assuming.
Tell us, say it.
Just makes an ass out of you.
Yep, it's true.
Just change some oil.
All right, I got video. All right, we're just gonna wipe her and cap her up.
So we'll give her a little wipe now that she's done leaking, mostly.
Yep, a lot of people, they wanna know if this will mix with other fluid. Yes, the AMSOIL 100% synthetic will mix with all your other synthetic blends. Transmission holds 1.9 quarts.
A lovely funnel. Let me take it back out.
Yep. And there's that little teeny hole right there. And what was in that hole before?
What was in that hole was this venting.
All right. So it's a little teeny plastic vent hose.
Yeah.
And that just pressure fits right in. Is that right?
Correct.
All right. Clutch transmission fluid go in.
Oh, yeah. Look at that thing like butter.
Oh, yeah. She's going to be a little bit of a spitter. I knew it wasn't going to be that easy. This is normal. So we can actually put a little piece of cloth or something in the corner to let it breathe if you want, or I can hold the funnel out a little. Let me hold the funnel for you. Yep, there we go. Yep, that's what happens. It's like I say,
they do that.
It's like bottle feeding a little baby goat. You know, they spit on you and
normally you just give them some extra cash and that problem goes away, but with this you can't do that. Little chugger.
We'll be back.
Luckily, Eben, being the lube oil specialist that he is, guided me through the correct selection of the lubes that we needed. Let's get it cleaned up here. Stick my AMSOIL rag down in there. For another day, another dollar.
Yep.
Put our breather plug back in here. Whatever this thing is called. Thanks for the light.
Yep.
There we go. It just kind of hung out. So
did it really?
Kind of, yeah.
Wow.
From here, there was no
place it went.
Yeah, at least that I saw.
All right.
But
all right.
You know.
All right.
There we go.
Make sure it's all nice and sprayed. Really spray it hard everywhere. Yep. Anywhere it touched, get it. Anywhere that stuff touched, you want to spray. Mileage. 140,000 miles. And she's nice and cold right now, but we're going to get some heat into her and see what our good man Vinny thinks.
This car normally vibrates a lot, so you know. It's a Ford Focus. It ain't no vet. Here we go. Yeah, so right away, I mean, you know, and it could be the placebo effect, but the shifting already seems smoother. It is. Let's see. So I noticed the vibration and through the steering column a lot on turns, mainly on turns from a stop. So specifically a right-hand turn. Here we go. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's buttery smooth. Yeah, man. Said it was gonna be better, it's better.
Holy crap. I used to sell these things in 2015 when I used to work at Godden Ford here in Las Vegas.
That is a noticeable difference. I mean, you know, without trying to be whatever, that's a noticeable difference. Who knows how long it's been since the transmission, if it was ever done in this car.
So yeah, tell us this story about this happening where someone already replaced the transmission.
Yeah, so the transmission was replaced at maybe 90,000 miles. So not that long after I got it, because I noticed this shuddering.
Huh.
Which CarMax couldn't figure out. Ford really couldn't figure out, so they just put a new transmission in it. So I guess that was the last time the transmission fluid would have been done.
When he got a whole new transmission.
Tranny was replaced. And we're now at 143,598 miles. It's definitely not as vibraty, if that's the right word. But yeah, so far so good. How many miles do you normally need to drive to get that heat into it to really...
A good heat soak on a car of this caliber would be probably right around 17 minutes of city driving. In 17 minutes, you're gonna be coming up on that wall of fully heat soaked.
So normally I drive this car in sport mode, almost exclusively. I very rarely drive it standard overdrive, just because it's such a weak ass car that I feel like you gotta be in sport mode to get it like where you need to be. That's just how I drive it. It's paid off. Look, the car is paid off. I'm gonna try to keep this thing running as long as I can. Being up under it just a few minutes ago, I didn't see any oil leaks. I mean, everything looks really clean. It's got new lower control arms. It's got new brakes and rear suspension. I mean, I'm gonna keep this thing going.
Runs like a brand new one.
It's cheap on gas.
Yeah.
But yeah, it feels good.
Like a brand new car. I sold these in 15. I used to drive them every day. Feels identical.
Nice.
But I'm not getting a shudder anymore because you just changed fluid, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, hopefully that takes care of that problem. I'll let you know if it comes back. But so far it felt good. One of the cylinders had oil in it. The car was feeling really underpowered, and yeah, see, normally from a dead stop like that, I would get that like I'm mounted to a fucking 50 cal on the front of a warship. Here we go. Right-hand turn. This is normally where I would feel some...
Holy crap.
Yeah,
this thing feels better than the ones I used to sell. Is this a sport model or base model?
This is a base model.
This thing runs better than the ones I used to sell in
nice.
2015.
Yeah, so far I can definitely tell a noticeable difference with the shifting. Shifting much smoother. Running good. She's running good. Running better than it's ran in a long time, that's for sure.
Wow.
If ever.
Wow.
That's a bold statement.
It is a bold statement. It went right to my head when you took that turn. I've driven Ford product for thousands of hours. It was 9 months. I would do day in and day out, 50 hours a week. I'd sell these Fords, and every time I got into a Focus, I had a little bit of flinchiness. I didn't trust what might not happen, and I don't know. I've never came out of a turn with the front diff pulling that evenly, and I don't know if that's the gear lube. I don't know if it's just broken in, because I've never pounded 100,000 mile Focus to really get heat into it. But I mean, I felt it.
Well, you said there would be a noticeable difference, that it would drive like a new car, and it's driving like the newest car that I've ever had it at.
Wow.
If that makes sense.
And that's only changing a small portion of the fluid, because when you change what's in the pan, you're only changing about half the fluid. And so a lot of people, they always ask me, they go, Eben, can you mix the fluid? Of course you can. You can mix the 100% synthetic DCT fluid with the OEM. It's not going to hurt anything. As a matter of fact, the more of the better fluid you get, you'll just have less friction, less heat, less vibration. And everything will last longer. You keep it running cooler, which your transmission temperatures will be a little cooler. And so, yeah.
Yeah, see, normally they're right there off, again, from a dead stop. That's when I would almost always notice it wasn't even a minor shuddering through the steering. It was fucking jolting. Like I said, it was like being mounted to a 50 cal. That's the only way I could describe it. Yeah, man.
Holy cow.
Ford Focus power. Felt good. feels good. The shifting feels real nice.
Do you get any shudders when you come into a light quick and it downshifts?
No.
All right.
It's almost always from a dead stop.
All right, so we'll get a dead stop right now.
I've been told that it very possibly could be the spark plugs, and that they're, you know, once they get warmed up and heated up, that gap increases and it's misfiring. And that still could be the case. Regardless, the fluid needed to be done. Couldn't really. And I also notice the shuddering much more when there's a slight incline. So this would be the most telling.
And we'll have a stop here. So let's come to a stop and then give it some gas and see if it shudders. Green light, let's see.
No, it didn't do it at all. It didn't do it at all.
See, we could call this a transmission focus fix.
I believe so. I mean, now this is a slightly uphill right turn. This is the quintessential time when it would do it. Should be warm. Let's see.
We're completely heat soaked by now. Yeah, we're totally heat soaked.
No shuddering at all, man. That was nice. I blasted through there.
So
man, that's a
we
big difference.
So we can call this a fix video.
I think it's a fix video, man.
All right.
I think it's a fix.
All right.
I'll report back if I experience anything different with my 100% God's honest opinion. But as of right now, the problem has been solved. I run the hot sauce game in the 702. So if you need hot sauce in this town, you come to me.
Got to show you my favorite. I met this gentleman at the Bruce Trent Park Farmers Market. He arrived with this really cool box. And I'm like, man, what is this stuff?
This is Vegas Vinny's hot sauce. This is the only hot sauce made in the 702 by yours truly. We make this right behind the Bellagio, but Eben bought a bottle of my Vegas Vinny's High Roller. This is a Serrano cucumber. I also do some agave, sweeten it up a little bit, pink Himalayan salt, turmeric. So it's not only good, but it's good for you. But this is the best hot sauce made in Las Vegas. In fact, it's the only hot sauce made in Las Vegas.
So this one, I already bought my second bottle. I put it on my omelet. And I got to say, this has so much body, so much flavor, got a great texture, gives you that little teeny bit of sweet that goes with the pop and the spice. And I'm a huge Italian food eating mother, you know what? I love my Italian food. And he brings that to what you could call a breakfast. And that's, to me, that's a lot of heart, that's soul.
That's right.
And that's, you know, being completely bought in. I mean, look at this. He's got old blue eyes there.
Even Sinatra loves it. He would endorse my sauce if he was still alive. God rest his soul. But Eben was kind enough to give me a shot. And now my car runs great. So for that, I'm going to gift him this bottle of High Rollers on the house.
Holy crap.
And you see Vegas Vinny for all your hot sauce needs, and you see Eben for all your oil and lube needs.
I love this box.
Saluti.
This box is almost too nice to throw away. It goes right to your head. Check out this video here in the middle. This one will help with getting your vehicle to stop burning oil. Got the solution right there.
We got it.
We'll see you back next time, right
Peace.
here on Synthetic Oil Protection. Cheers to using protection. If you use the right protection in your vehicle will always be happy.
Stay protected, folks.